Yo, it's In the Loop Podcast. We back with another episode. I'm one of your hosts, Do Dollar.
It's your boy Links the Chef, man.
And y'all know what's going on. We back in the loop.
We back.
100% pure the oil.
Make sure y'all
subscribe, comment.
subscribe to the YouTube, to the Instagram, to the Facebook, all In the Loop LLC.
Y'all see what's going on, man. Today we got a very special guest in the building. I knew this man before I met him. Today is our official meeting, and I knew him before we met him, man. Y'all see who it is? David Brooks is in the building. Y'all make some noise. Clap it up. Come on, clap it up for my guy.
Hey, it's all good.
Man, we finally got you here, man. When I tell you, I've been hearing about you for 5 years and never seen you, never met you. And I feel like every time I go to think about something like, yo, you know what? We could do this. They be like, man, you got to get with Brooks, man. He into that. I'm talking about pallets. I'm talking about sober living homes, residential homes, things like that I inquire like, yo, you know, we probably could do that. Yep. Somebody be like, yo, man, you know, David Brooks on helping the youth, on helping inmates, helping people get out. We got somebody here who been where we been at, who know what it feel like to be on the other side, to be able to be relatable to guys and deal with people and still help people. And that's what we got right here sitting on the couch today, man. I'm kind of excited.
Yeah, I can't wait.
One thing we like to do is introduce yourself a little bit, like, you know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, hey, I just tell you, man, I'm David Brooks. I own a business in Frederick, Brooks Behavioral Health Services. I do mental health. I do substance abuse. I do criminal behavior. I consult with a treatment center. I wrote a program. It's in different sectors. I work with Frederick County Drug Court, Washington County Drug Court, and if the numbers are right, then I'm going to work with Baltimore Drug Court.
If the numbers right. One thing about it, the numbers got to add up.
Hey, they got to
did not leave that out. The numbers got to add up, man.
I don't do no work for free.
I respect that, man. I think us as black men definitely got to, put our foot down on what's deserved, what's right. You know what I'm saying? I love that.
Look, I'm going to tell you this, man, especially when you're dealing with people. People like to ask for discounts for stuff. And for me, I always feel like if I give you a discount, it discounts my process. You feel me? How I got here, all the work that I put in, if you discounting, but they'll pay their lawyer what they want. You feel me? Lawyer yell a number out, they pay it.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say the people that ask for discounts actually know you personally.
Man, look.
For the most part.
Man, be honest, man. To be honest with you, man, people see that you black and they automatically disvalue what you bring to the table. You feel me? Like ain't nobody in Frederick County, ain't nobody in Washington County. I'll be honest with you, I don't think nobody in Maryland does the things that I do. You know what I mean? So for me, that's my value. I've created a way to get people out of jail. Hey, people got them phones rolling. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But for real though, but people, when you cut a niche out, that's what makes your value. You feel me? Like you don't do what everybody else is doing. You figure out what ain't nobody doing, and then when you do it, you can put a price on it, and people gotta pay it because it's just you doing something. But for me, for what I do, I try to work with people. Like I don't hit everybody over the head, but some people in some situations they come with that mentality that they want something. Then I just throw a number out there and I just say, hey, pay it or don't pay it, because at the end of the day, I know what my value.
You know your worth.
I know my value.
I think I want this what I want to know. Like I said, I've known you before I met you, and I think so. I want to kind of go back to the beginning. I actually went to prison, went away for about 8 years on a 10-year sentence. Upon me returning is when I started hearing about David Brooks. I kind of grew up out here too. I had never knew you, never heard of you prior to that. So when I did come home, 2019, that's when I would hear David Brooks. My question is to you, where did you come from? And once you did get here, what was your vision? Or did you have a vision before? Like, where you from? Like, how did you get to Maryland?
Yeah.
And then, did you come with the vision, or you just seen like opportunity?
Man, listen, man, I'll tell you, man, I grew up right outside of Houston, and man, come on, man, that's what it's about. But I tell you, but my thing was when I was young and I was a kid, my whole life just been just a roller coaster. Like I've always like I graduated top 10% of my class, but in high school, but I was in alternative school for 3 to 4 times because they would catch me with stuff. I would get in fights. I mean, I was always in stuff. You feel me? And so whenever I got older, when I graduated, then I realized, that I kept going through like mental health stuff. Like my mind just wasn't right. Like I probably started getting high about 12, 13 years old. And I just, and for some reason, man, when I got high, Like it wasn't like, if it was double stack XOs, it was codeine. If it wasn't PCP, weed, whatever it was, I did the most. You feel me? And so, but I always had rules to everything that I did. Like no matter what. Like I didn't sell no drugs between the 30th through the 3rd. I never sold anything from the 14th through the 17th. Like I always had rules to everything that I did because I would see people out there hustling, and the first come, and next thing you know, everybody out on the block. 15th come, everybody out on the block, and I would just sit back. And even when I was a kid, from selling candy at school to the point where because I wanted a nice pair of shoes, you feel me? And so I remember the first time I got my 4s, it was in 90, like 89, 90. And I was a freshman in high school.
The military blues?
Man, look, when I put them shoes on my feet.
Just came back out.
Man, when I put them shoes on my feet, it gave me something that I had never felt before. Because at that time, it was only drug dealers that wore. Like now it's different. Everybody got, like white people got. Back in the day, white people didn't buy Jordans because
they thought they was gonna get robbed for them.
You was. Like, man,
I remember that.
You walk from that.
I remember hearing.
You walk out the store to your car, like in Houston, like Greenspoint, Sharpstown Mall, all them that had all the shoes. Man, they would escort you from the door to your car and then watch you drive off because if you had a bag on that day.
Shit was bad. Man, I remember motherfuckers in Baltimore was getting robbed for the Grant Hills when the Grant Hills came out.
I remember that with jackets, certain first down, first starter jackets, all that, man. People was getting robbed for that. I even participated in some of that shit in my younger youth. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't afford it. Somebody definitely came up off some shoes or a jacket, or I might have stole it on some cat burglar shit. Like I definitely did my due diligence with stealing little clothes and gear as a kid, man. I can't just put it on other people. I was one of them ones that would take some shit off your clothesline in Baltimore City. If you left a FUBU hoodie up there,
it's gone.
It's gone. I got it. It's on the east side of Baltimore. That was me.
But the thing is, like I was trying to tell my kids, man, they were talking about like Jordan's this, Jordan's that, and they talking about shoes be 200, 300. I was trying to explain to them, like back in them days when I started buying Jordan at 110 a pair.
120, 125.
But the thing about it was back then gas was like 99 cents. Yep. It was like $1.05.
Candy, a soda. You could go in there and get a soda and some chips. The chips was a quarter. Them same bags of chips now is $1,
25 cents.
50 cents for a bag of chips. A Faygo drink was 50 cents.
Chips. Remember the
quarter
chips? Ranch Fritos was a quarter a piece.
All of them was a quarter. Go in the store with $1, get 4 bags of chips.
That's why people don't understand inflation. And that's why, like, we literally have to make more money.
Right.
Like, we have to make more money. If you waiting for the government to help you get to that place, it ain't gonna happen. Right. And to be honest with you, like, the reason why I'm in the field that I am is me and my partner Tay, me and him, we ran tight all through when I graduated till I went to college. I ended up getting a possession charge, got kicked out because I went to college. I tried not to sell drugs, but people were paying too much for it, and I called him up, and next thing you know, I got a dorm room full of drugs.
Right.
You feel me? And then it just literally got kicked out. Every college I went to, I always ended up getting in trouble for selling because I was always smart, but I just always hustled.
Right.
You feel me? And so that's why, like, now, and you ask, why did I get up here? Man, my wife now, she caught me getting high. Like, my drug of choice was PCP. Mm-hmm. I was dipped out, always kept something in my pocket. Like, I ain't sell no PCP, but I kept a vanilla bottle in my pocket all the time. Right. You feel me? Yeah. But my thing is that I couldn't live like that. You know what I mean? Like, I called my brother up and I was like, because she caught me getting high, ran out of gas, and I ain't the type to run out of gas, but I was just too high. And she rolled up on me. We were just dating, and she was just like...
PCP seemed like a hard drug to hide, man. That shit stinks.
Man, look, man.
And it don't allow you to move at a regular pace.
Yeah.
Man, I done picked up air conditions and threw them. You feel me? Like, it just... I'll tell you this. I won't touch it. Like, that's the reason why, like, I can't do drugs. Because when I do drugs, I don't stop. Yeah. I just don't stop. Like, I know. But that's why I went in business. I treat business like a drug. And that's why, like, anything that I do it hard.
Right.
I do it hard. And that's why I work. I don't go to bed every night. I go to bed at 2 o'clock. 3 o'clock. I'm reading. Like, I believe, like, I got to put it here because that's something, like, when you look at, like, slaves couldn't read. Why did they not want slaves to read? Because once you read, you don't need people.
Right.
You feel me? That's what slave owners wanted. They wanted you to be dependent on them. And that's why I choose not to be dependent on nobody.
You want to hide something from a nigga, put it in a book.
Put it in a book for real.
Right.
For real.
I heard it.
For real. If you want to put money in a book and see.
So your arrival to Maryland,
yeah.
I kind of asked this question already. I still just want to know. I'm learning you.
Yeah.
I think this is a better way of learning you on the podcast live. It's not scripted. So when you arrived to Maryland, did you already have business mindset in place, or did you see?
No. I'll tell you, when I moved to Maryland, you got to understand that even whenever I was going to college, I wanted to be a writer for speeches. Like, that was my goal. I went to school to learn how to write speeches. And then I worked for two mayors, and I wanted to try to figure out. And you got to understand, like, I'm going in the hood to buy PCP, whatever it was, and I'm coming in as a school teacher. You feel me? Like, I'm shirt and tie, and I'm walking in, and people, man, I'm helping them their kids go to college. They like, hey, help them, man. I know you know this stuff. And I'm in there, I'm helping people fill out information to go to college. They giving me discounts on anything I wanted. But it was one of them things that when I got to Frederick, I came in as a worker. That's what I did. I wanted to work. And I remember I was working for the health department. I was right underneath the director of mental health. And I asked them for a raise, and they told me the answer they gave me was, "What do you do to need a raise?" And for me, that just that right there made me realize that when you depend on people to give you raises, they don't give you
They control. Yeah, they in control.
Yeah, and I just and once I got that, I said, man, I want to be a business owner. And,
Fuck it, I'm about to quit my job, man. I just asked for a raise.
They told you, know what they tell you?
They say we're gonna get back to you.
Man, look, they get back to you.
Know what that mean?
Ever.
That mean I ain't gonna get back to work. Fuck that shit. I quit.
Or they might value what you have and they give you a little bit so that you stay. But I tell you, when I own my own business, man, I look, I'm gonna be honest with you. In 2018, I started my business. In 2017, I had $5,000 in my pocket. I went and got rent at a spot. I found a spot, and I started my own business in mental health. And from September to December, I made as much money in my own practice as I did paying when they paid me from where I was from January to September.
So what was it? What was you doing exactly? Like,
so when I was at the health department, I was in charge of the substance abuse in the jail. I was in charge. I was the manager of that. I did treatment on the outpatient, and when I was writing all the grants, I'm the one that got Narcan to be given out to anybody who left. I ended up getting Vivitrol. Fought against Jenkins to get Vivitrol so that people, when they get out, if they get out, they won't overdose because they will get this shot before they leave, and within 30 days, no matter if they got high, they wasn't gonna die. Because I was tired of seeing people dying. You feel me? Like this fentanyl that's going around. I mean, people keep on acting like it ain't nothing, but man, we seeing people die. Die. Like I'm talking about like when people are alive, you have hope and you have potential. But when somebody dies, man, that is absent of potential.
fentanyl is man-made too, right? Like
It's a fully synthetic. It's a fully synthetic opioid. And what people don't really realize is that Mexico has started making heroin again. And when they bring heroin back, you're going to see a whole nother, like there's people who stop using drugs because of fentanyl, because they're scared to die. But when you see heroin, really like black heroin come back to America, you're going to see all these people. I promise you, half of the people that are in recovery will go back out. Because heroin, people didn't really die on heroin. Like a couple people would die, but when it came to fentanyl, man, fentanyl is taking people out.
Yeah, and it's crazy you say that because like I said, I spent some time in prison, and I wasn't around for like the introduction of the fentanyl epidemic. So I would get the newspaper, the Frederick newspaper. I had a subscription for it. I would get it, and it's crazy that every time I would get to the back of the obituary, I would see like somebody of my peers like that just was strung out on this drug, or it might have started with prescription pills and then led to them taking dope or whatever they could get their hands on that had something to do with an opiate, gone. And it was like, I get home and I'm in disbelief, like, what? Like, he was getting high? Like, hell no. Like, we come from an era where we just, that wasn't our drug of choice. Like,
No.
Yeah, but what changed that was the music, because, I was locked up too in '09. When I went in, nobody was really doing perks. But like 2 years into my bid, that's all I heard when I called home. Everybody talking about pop a perk, fuck your bitch, this, and that. And the motherfuckers got strung out on them.
So you feel like music definitely influenced?
Definitely.
I believe that too, because I feel like it be seeming like it's cool to have your double cup with lean and codeine.
Yeah.
And pills or whatever it is, Xannies, Adderall.
Like, I know Philly had been popping Xannies and shit for a long time, but perks, and I mean, I guess people was doing them, but it wasn't as popular as it was starting like 2010, 2011.
Yeah, that's when
until Future came on with that song.
Let me tell you. All right, that's that side of it. All right, I used to, because I was management in the health department. You would see these people that were like sales reps for oxycodone and all of that. They would go to doctors and they would go to them and they would say, if you prescribe so many pills, I will give you, some people getting cars, some people getting trips for their family. Like they would come in and supply lunch for that company, and it would be fajitas, and all they would say is, just keep prescribing. And so then you start seeing all them pill meals. And that's when it got real bad, like around 2000, and I got here in 2007, and it was starting about that time. And them doctors were really prescribing like 30s, and they were 80s.
You go in there with a broken toenail, you get Oxy 80s.
No conversation.
18 years old, never been through no traumatic,
nothing,
MRI needed,
nothing,
80s
surgeries at all.
nothing.
That's crazy.
All you had to do was go, and the more that they prescribed and they seen their name, they were getting kickbacks. And so that's what we fell into, and that's what I really hate about, like, for black people, like they took, like, The Wire. The movie The Wire did more harm to me than anything, because they glamorized it. You feel me? Like, they made it into a show where they had people, like, because white people really didn't ever see, like, what that lifestyle was for Baltimore. So it became like a entertainment factor.
I feel like, hold on, because, like, I'm from Baltimore City, and when it comes to The Wire, right, one thing that they never left out of The Wire, but I think black people who are excited to see things that we are related to was able to glamorize it. Like, The Wire wasn't based on it. I don't think that the creation was based on for it to leave the impact that it did. The creator of the Wire is a white guy, ex-police officer, who had access to a lot of them records of a lot of stuff that was happening. I think with the minority watching it, glamorized it, because it was definitely based on wiretaps, trying to put people in jail the entire time, but also the freedom of how the drug game was there. Like, you can't do that. You couldn't do that shit in Frederick. No. You couldn't stand on Market Street and scream, "Nickels, Nickels, it's going to jail." So I think, even though, like I heard you say, like it didn't sit well with you, it was real. Like, the shit in The Wire was real. Like, when you go through my city, you see this. You know what I'm saying? And it's not something that you see anywhere and everywhere, or that's allowed. They actually, if you remember one part on The Wire, I can never forget, y'all go over here and hustle. Long as y'all don't come over here out this block, y'all can get all the money y'all want in this block in front of the police, getting money. Even now, the police know what's going on. Everybody know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that us as the black people, we glamorize and make things bigger. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because like doing my research on The Wire, it's a police officer who made it. Yeah. And these are cases he dealt with in his youth, in his years of being an officer. So I know his intention wasn't like, if I was to do it, I'd be really proud of glamorizing.
Even before The Wire, what was the other
Corner
show? The Corner. Yeah. The Corner was, I think that was way more real than The Wire. The Wire was like it was a true story, but they definitely, you know what I mean?
But yeah, that's the part I'm saying. So to get the views, we need to put out the shit that, you know, how we take on the things when we like it. When we when we glamorize the wrong shit, it get big.
They definitely emphasize.
So they emphasize using us to watch it. I will guarantee that we made the show as big as it is. Us as black people watching it for the excitement of the crime and shit that's in it, versus the white people side of politicians, the lawyers, the corrupt, the police. All that shit probably wasn't as big as the impact of the black people part.
And if you think about it, like, as far as the story goes, like, nobody really made it out.
No. But that's why I stopped, and I learned that, like, sometimes it just continues. We can't stop. Like, we could be on season 50 right now, The Wire, and it just continues.
Yeah,
It don't.
just
It
different
didn't
people.
stop. So
It won't stop.
You don't have an end.
Nobody was successful in, like, as far as the drug dealers. Like, nobody really made it out unscathed.
Right. Some officers, they get crooked in the situation. It's just a big ass melting pot of the wrong shit. You know what I'm saying?
But that's why, for me, like, that's why I love what I'm doing, because I try to empower people. Like, whenever drug dealers come in my office and they're talking about what they've done and all that, I tell them, just like my shirt say, like don't lose the hustle. You feel me? Like, it's good to hustle. If you can be in the street and you can hustle, you can do business.
Right.
You feel me? But business got write-offs. You can write stuff off. You can play that game. But the streets, all they gonna do is take your money.
And they're gonna take you up out of here.
Yeah, it's gonna
They're
take
gonna take
your
you
money.
up out of here.
Take your money.
I think, like I said, I knew you before I knew you. I think a lot of my childhood friends, as well as myself, were guys who have been in and out of jail in our earlier days. A lot of them speak on your role inside of the jail.
Yeah.
Being a counselor in Project 103, not necessarily a counselor, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I know you had your foot in Project 103. I actually I did a 90-day program in Project 103 out the jail back in 2004 when it was K Block. I don't know what block is on now, but it was K Block.
Yep.
So I got a little bit understanding of how it go. One thing I never did see when I was there was a black person that was relatable, walking in and out them doors, being able. I never heard other guys of my peers speak on any of the counselors. In a good way, like, man, he for the people. You know, you get there, people might put in their little cop-outs directly to you for the help, like, because they know you're relatable, you understand, and you want to see people win. So my question to that is, how was that transitioning going into the jail, going on that side, helping guys, and did you ever feel like, was it a hard step to do? Like, I feel like it was hard for you being on the other side as a black man, then you're a black man working there, trying to help.
Yeah.
And that don't be the feeling that when you in there, it don't be feeling like them people there to help us. They seem like they there to do their job.
Man, listen, man. I'll tell you, man. Like I remember the first time I ever touched jail was when I was 19. The first time I ever touched it, and it wasn't even because of my actions. You feel me? It was running with niggas that just are grimy. You feel me? Like, they won't take their stuff. You know, because I always felt that way. But from going in and out, violations, going in, staying some time, get out. And I just said, the last time I got off probation, and that was in 2003, I said to myself, my thing is, I don't like nobody to tell me what to do. Like, really and truly, like, that is my problem. I've never listened to my parents. I've never listened to probation officers. I just don't like people to tell me what to do. And so whenever I got off of them papers, I don't like somebody telling me, you got to be here at 5. You can't leave your house. You got to call somebody for permission to do something. And so that's the only reason why I walked away from all of that. Right. Because I really, intrinsically in my heart, I don't like to be told what to do. And so whenever it all came back around and they were like, hey, we need you to go counsel people in the jail. And I remember the first time I walked in there, man, I walked around and I was just like, damn. You feel me? Like, and what was really crazy was I was working with a client but he ended up getting murder charges, and I was working with him on the outside, and then when I went in, I worked with him there. And it was just, I knew right there that God had sent me to be in the right place at the right time. And before he got his sentence, I was able to talk to him, and then Other people was in that charge also. I talked to them, and that's when I realized that there are not enough black people that are in these positions who really have lived this life. You feel me?
That can relate.
That really know, like I know how it feel not to have money and you want to stop, but you can't. You feel me? Like it's something so real. When you ain't got no money in your pocket and you know all you gotta do is go get a lump and you back at it. You feel me? And you can get out of any situation. You can pay your bills. You can get back on your feet. And when you say to yourself and they see me, I tell them, listen, I feel you can go back out and do what you do, but I want you to do more. Right. You feel me? Like, don't worry about just paying rent. Like, switch your mindset up so you can say, I want to be rich. You feel me? But I'm talking about not a rich of looking behind your backs, answering the phone, worry about who knocking at your door. I'm talking about the type of rich where you can walk and you can put your money in a bank account and you ain't got to worry about
financial freedom rich.
Rich. You feel me? Like, that's what I be trying to preach to people is if you change your mindset, you can be as rich as you want, because if you do it legally, flip the script. Like, don't lose the hustle, just lose the illegal part of it.
So being in that position in the jail, right?
Yeah.
The staff of the jail, does anybody ever give you any type of grief and shit for trying to help people in there?
Man, it is a clear line between what I did in a jail and what the staff were. Like, the staff, they're there for security, but most of those people don't believe that people really change. Like, because they see the same faces.
The same cycle.
Yeah, they see the same people, but if nothing changes, nothing changes.
Right. They don't want it to change because that's their job security.
Come on now. I mean, that's probation job security. That's judges on job security. That's lawyers. I mean, everybody. It's almost like, why do you think they don't want electric cars to come into play? Because the mechanic is going to be out of a job. Gas. You feel me? Gas stations out of a job. Why do you think? And so it's the same way. Yeah. People don't want people to get better because there's money being made.
And we know that whole jail system is a money.
It's money.
It's money.
Yeah.
It's money.
And that's why it is the way it is, because they want that cycle. Like, they don't want you to have no hope. They want you to come back.
Buddy, man, that system's been made since the 13th Amendment started. Like, they've been wanting to slave black people. And now, to be honest with you, it's not black people. It's changed to society levels.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like it's about poor, middle class, and rich. And if you choose to be in the lower class, that's what you choose to. Like,
I don't even think it's no middle class no more. I feel like it's poor, not as poor, rich.
Not as poor.
For real.
Nah,
people trying not
barely
to be
making it, man.
Everybody.
You onto something. You definitely onto something.
Everybody. But that's what they want, though. They want you to feel that way because you are then dependent on them. You feel me? That's why when you look at like Oklahoma, when they used to have the Black Wall Street, they needed nobody. They didn't even need no government. They didn't need nothing. They were in themselves. And what did? They burn it down. You feel me? Like, nobody, they don't want you to be self-sufficient. And so that's why I keep telling people, you gotta fight that and be self-sufficient. Don't rely on nobody to get you nowhere. You do it yourself. You feel me? Just don't cut no corners. That's all I say is just don't cut corners. Do it the right way. You feel me? You see people like Puff Daddy. You see people and all this going through. Why you think they got that? Because they cut corners. Somewhere down the line, they cut corners. That's why I like listen to 50 Cent. That's why I like listen, because they didn't cut no corners. And that's why they being blunt.
I think with the Diddy situation, like, as far as that goes, like, it's also to show you that no matter how high a black man get, like, you could lose that shit. They'll take that shit away from your ass.
Rip you right down.
I feel like Puff Daddy
And that shit is
somewhere
to keep
down.
other people in line. Like,
No
I
matter
think he
who-
made somebody mad somewhere.
Yes, I think he told somebody.
I don't even think that. I think from the time he started, he knew at some point they gonna take all this shit back.
Yo,
And he lived with it while he did, and he knew that, like, you make them deals, you know that shit, they collecting.
come on, man.
They gonna collect. You live good life for
free
a
Puff,
long
man.
time, man.
Free Puff, man. Free Puff, man. I'm still on my free Puff
Is
shit.
Puff even locked up?
Nah, that ain't what I mean when I say free him. I don't mean
That's a wild pause then.
Nah, man, it's not a pause. I'm
did
saying, yo, because listen, this I'm just on man time with it.
Yeah.
Even when we call somebody a rat, right, out on the street side, bro, there's paperwork that needed to be seen. That man needed to be found guilty for people to convict him in the street or in the courtroom, right? So I feel like with the internet being able to coerce the mind, influence people, we all have this mentality that
He guilty.
he's guilty and he
Already.
not. So I mean, I'm saying free him from that shit. Like
That's the
he's
whole,
not convicted of it. He's not guilty. It's hearsay, and they could do that with any and everybody. On the flip side of the shit that he's saying, they saying another artist that he's playing with, and people are running with the narrative, bro.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's-
what the internet's for. Just is to be able to skew public perception. It only take one or two. You know what I mean?
hackers or some
Nah,
shit.
not hackers, but like somebody that's what's the
Influencers?
word? Not influencers, but like a place that's like a news outlet, like
Yeah.
something that people trust.
Yeah.
All it takes is for them to
But
post
yo, but
something
look
about you.
at even when you say what people trust, who trust it? The news only share when we talk about the news only share information for the most part that we don't know about and the shit that they want to choose to talk about.
That's what I'm saying. Like if like the people in power, all they need is a reputable source to sway the public mind. Like somebody like MSNBC, CNN. Like if somebody say post this about this person, if CNN posts it, it ain't no way that people not gonna believe it,
Right.
Whether it's true or not.
Right. But then it come back down to the people, and that's what I'm saying. Like when you stand on principles, man, like that man ain't been found guilty of none of that shit. So I mean, all right, look at the Bill Cosby shit.
Yep.
He's not in prison. All the shit that he was accused
Bill
of.
is in prison, ain't he?
Bill Ben came home.
You sure?
I'm positive.
I think he did come home.
Ben came home.
All right.
And you don't hear about that no more. Like
No, 'cause
you don't
he
hear
ain't
about that.
The
They
damage
fucked him
done
over.
already. The damage done.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They fucked him over. He went in. Shit got overturned. He back home now. He just slept. He swept up under the rug. He don't have nothing. He don't have no legacy left of what he did. They stripped it from him, and you don't hear about that. Like everybody was on, oh, Bill Cosby, what you put in Jello, what you put in
Yeah,
the
that's
drink.
what I'm saying.
You did all this stuff, and this man is home. He's not in prison. He's not serving life. Like you would have thought he would have been
Yeah, the
found guilty.
damage is already done. Like
And it's fucked up, bro.
That's
the
what I'm
same
saying.
thing they did with OJ. I mean,
Even
same
OJ.
thing.
Anybody
Rest
that's
in
in a position of not necessarily power, but like fame and fortune, all that shit could be taken away like that just by a post now.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. I think it's wrong.
You have to remember that you are not them, and you can be next to them. You can be, and when I say them, I mean the ones with power. You can be next to them. You can be beside them, and while you good, you good. But I believe that there's some time where they tell you to do something or want you to compromise your integrity, and as soon as you do it, you will get paid.
Right.
You feel me? Like I ran for the Board of Education because I wanted to make a difference. Because I don't like the way that these schools are dealing with our people. You feel me? Like people. Like the people that don't have and they're struggling. And I went in and it came down to there was a person that called me out of nowhere. I don't know who they were. And they asked me and they said to me, they said, what do you believe about gay people being talked about in school? Like teaching the agenda. And I told them, I wish they just teach education. Right.
Yeah.
Let parents do and teach their kids what they want. And he said, "Oh, okay." When I hung up that phone, man, there was about 5 media posts that said I don't understand him. He doesn't believe in this and that. Talking about me. And literally, it was like, boom. And next thing you know, like I lost by 200 votes. But I know that if I would have came out and I would have just been like, I'm okay with whatever it is that you want, I know that I would have got votes for that. But I just can't compromise who I am. And I believe that the school don't need to be part of that. Like, help them, teach them math.
They wasn't teaching us that shit in school.
It wasn't free to do. That. It wasn't a freedom thing now. Like, now it's freedom. You could be into that and it's okay.
Who you want.
Yeah, back then it was frowned upon. Now it's like it's legal to marry the same sex. Type shit. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was tough. And they switched his words right around because what they feel like he didn't believe. That's not what he said. He said teach education.
That's all I wanted. Just teach education.
I feel like what he feel. Just because you teaching me this in school does nothing for me in college. Like, what does that help me in my future career?
Don't teach me morals. Like, I don't need like I got 4 kids in school. I don't need the school to teach my kids morals. I teach my kids morals. I teach them what's important, because if I wait for a principal or a teacher, I don't know who they are. Yeah. You feel me? I don't know where you from. I'm teaching you the real. Like,
it's crazy. I seen a post like that. It was a female teacher, and on the board, I want to say it was like maybe either chalk or washable marker. It was saying something about pride, like pride. So the mother walked in like the mother coming to the classroom and just was like, What is this? Why are you sitting here teaching this? And the teacher was trying to explain something. You gotta look it up. And I think a fight ended up I think the mother ended up erasing it off the board. It was like, no, I send my child to school to get an education. I don't understand what this have to do with education. But the teacher more or less was probably in that field and was trying to make people comfortable with that. But like he said, that's an at-home thing.
Yeah.
I don't think like sexual preference has anything should be in school at all. Like, especially not elementary schools.
Right.
They ain't even supposed to be having sex. Why you care about same sex, different sex? Talk about motherfucking Barney.
Man, talk about these bathrooms. You feel me? Like, these kids is in these bathrooms and it's smoke going everywhere. But you over here worried about what they teaching about sex and all of that. Go in these bathrooms where these kids is like getting high.
Hella vapes.
You feel me? Everybody vaping. These kids, they being found. And you telling me you can't stop that? Come on, man. You can shut a whole apartment building down, but you can't shut a bathroom down.
It's crazy, even speaking about school, like the difference now. Like, I remember having cell phones in school back when it was like not okay to have a cell phone in school. Now, like, you could use your cell phone part of your assignment in school.
Have to practice.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
AI to write papers.
Yep.
Yeah. Right.
And you see that I just had that happen.
Go ahead, my bad.
No, but I'm saying, like, I teach at the Mount St. Mary's, and they have students that get caught, and I got one that got kicked out for using AI. Everything they did was AI, and they got systems that will go and find that.
Yeah, I was the best man for my man wedding, so I thought I was going to have to give a speech.
Yeah.
So I just had AI write one up for me, Chat GPT. That's
crazy, man. I hope he don't see that, man. You supposed to sit there.
I told him though.
You supposed to sit there and wrote that man.
But he told me I ain't had to read it.
Man, you supposed to wrote that man the speech.
Bro, it was a hell of a speech too.
Yeah, you use the
AI. I probably still got that. You use the AI, man. Bro, that shit
like,
wrote
come
that
on,
shit.
Bro. I hope you don't see this. Whoever that guy was, man, I hope you don't see this.
He gonna feel insecure.
No, he not. I told him.
Man, I would say.
Let me see if
I can
find it. Let me see if I can find it.
It probably was good, though.
It was a hell of a motherfucking speech.
It wasn't a hell of a speech. It wasn't yours.
Look, here it is right here. Say, ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, I am honored to stand here today as the best man for my dear friend groom's name. You just insert his name in that.
Oh, but that's not you.
Oh, listen.
Was you honored to stand there?
Yes, I was. It definitely got the essence of my feelings.
Hey, Jeff, chat.
This is
man, get you.
today. Groom's name has found his soulmate in bride's name.
Yo, bro, when I get married, bro, please don't use the AI.
I'm gonna use the same one. I'm just gonna insert your name. You ain't
bro.
gonna remember.
Nah, bro, don't do me like that, bro. I need.
Look, it even gave me a joke, bro. This shit gave me a joke.
Oh, it threw a joke in there.
It threw a joke in there too.
Like I remember back when we was 12.
That is something like that. Look, I want to thank you for being such a great friend to me over the years. We have shared so many memories together, from our wild carvers days to our most recent adventures.
That's bull crap.
Send that to me.
Oh, you
Like,
know I
in
would
case
have. You
had
know how
to
many
do it.
tears I would have pulled out that crowd when
Yanked
I read that.
Yanked them.
Would you have said, okay,
yanked them.
at the end of it, would you have said, yeah, AI generated this for me, y'all?
That would have got a hell of a crowd reaction too.
All
Nah,
that,
bro.
man.
That's wrong.
Look, I keep telling my wife, man, this ain't stopping. This computer stuff ain't stopping. Like you can say I read
AI write raps too.
Yo, you know what my engineer just called me and said? My beat maker just called me a little earlier and said, hey, do you have any old songs you want to re-put out? Just send the song to me. I could take your lyrics right off it now with this new AI system that he could just pull my voice off it. I don't have to send him the 2-track or none of that no more. And he could place it on another beat.
Yeah,
I said,
let's
man,
do
this shit
that.
is out of control. But he's calling for me to like create a new album, which I'm not into music like that no more. Create a new album using
Old verses.
old music. He could just pull it right off and put it on something up to date.
That's fire.
Nah. Have y'all heard? The other day, man, I was listening to some guy that got AI, and he got Tupac, and he got a whole thing of Tupac, like all new music.
Sound just like him too.
What?
You know what I was gonna do,
like,
but I don't know.
I
I
heard
don't
a
know.
song with
That's
DMX and
dangerous.
Tupac.
That's dangerous. They can start doing
I
some
mean, but
dangerous
who
things
gets
with that.
paid for that?
But
though?
look, that's what I was about to
what
say,
I'm saying.
David. Look, I wrote 13 books. I got 13 books published.
Yeah.
I don't.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I got
That's
them.
for
They
real.
all e-books, but I don't have none of them on audio books. So I thought one of a good thing for me to do that I never seen nobody do was like, what if I could have Tupac read my book as audio, kind of how we was just listening to that on the. But who get paid? Like, can I get permission to do it?
Do you even need permission? Because of AI,
Is it really
who
Tupac
has
You
doing
AI?
can't
it?
promote it as Tupac. You just gotta say
It's
I'm
you.
Tupac
But
reading it.
that's my draw. My draw is to be like Do Dollar, novel by Do Dollar, read by Tupac Shakur. Like, I would love to have that. Lil Baby or
Right.
Kodak Black. I think Kodak Black would be funny reading the book. Like,
Nah,
you know what I'm
imagine
saying?
you can have Martin Luther King do it.
You could do that.
feel-
I like that. Don't play with Martin Luther King up here. I told y'all don't play with Martin Luther King in
It
here.
wasn't me playing.
You was playing with Martin
bro.
Luther King talking about he turned the other cheek.
He
got
did,
hit with a
though.
rock, ain't do nothing.
He turned the other
But
cheek.
don't talk about that.
But hey,
Why not?
he can read your book though.
Right. That part.
He'll narrate your book
Get
for you.
Martin to do it. I mean,
But I really,
Anybody. That's what I said.
but I just want to know the
It's
legal
scary.
side of it. I
There is.
I don't
think
know.
there
It's
is
like
a
it's
legal
like
side
that's what
to
they
it.
trying to figure out in the music industry because a lot of people is making songs with people's voices.
Yeah.
And making that shit in the content.
Yeah,
But there's really no legal course because
So
it's
y'all
not
saying I
really
should just
them.
move forward with it.
man.
until they figure out how to.
One day you're gonna need a lawyer.
until
One
they
day
figure out how to
somebody
do it.
gonna call you up and you gonna need a lawyer. But until then,
Run with it.
hey,
That's what I'm gonna do, man. I'm gonna get each one of my books. I want read by somebody different,
I mean, AI can
a
do
different
it.
celebrity, somebody funny. Like,
Yeah, you could do that shit right now. Chat GPT.
right now. Do
say
it.
less.
Do it.
Man, oh man, I got so many questions for David. Man, you got any questions for us, man? It could be about anything.
Man, I just want to know what made you guys want to start this right here. Cause I tell you, man, I'm impressed. You feel me? Like when I say I'm
appreciate
impressed,
that,
it takes a lot to impress me. And it's not that this is the best studio I've ever been to, but it is the most genuine one. Right. You feel me? Like when I walked in here, I felt comfortable. Like it wasn't no. Usually when you get people eyeballing and they try and size you up, you feel me? Right. And it was none of that. Like I felt as comfortable walking in here, and I just want to know what made you guys decide to want to do this.
Where we start? You want to go? You want me to go?
I think we seen the opportunity when we was doing the podcast with the other folks at first. We felt like we could do it better.
So like to even explain that a little better, because it was okay. So I had some guys reach out to me and pretty much like, man, we think you should come and do podcasts with us. Like, would you do something with me? Like, you know, everybody in the streets. Like, we really can't talk that talk. But you can, but they could talk another side of the talk. Like, he worked for the government. He could talk about what I can't talk about. So he felt like if we merge it, we could cover everything. And I could pull in people from the street. The people that I know wouldn't watch him. And probably the people he know wouldn't watch me. So we kind of ran it together. It didn't work out good.
Gotcha.
In the midst of that person actually had to attend to some medical health issues or something. My first cousin, somebody that we could talk about nothing and laugh.
Gotcha.
I've been around him since 9 years old, 8 years old, 9 years old. He filled in for the other guy.
Okay.
We've been doing music since 8, 9 years old together, me and him. So me and him to glue together on anything is natural. And the other guy had been absent, so we was invested into this other spot now. So he stepped in, and it was natural. We go live, the responses is natural, man. Y'all niggas are stupid. Like, y'all too, boom, boom. So now we kind of had changed the name of that segment of me and him to this name.
In the loop
of just doing our own segment. And that was getting really good responses. I really appreciate him because at the time, he was just supporting my dream. Like, this is something I had got into real quick.
Yeah.
And this how I come all the way back around. That didn't work out well. We separated from that.
All right.
He called me, cuz we got a building. We podcasting. We had took a break from it for at least anywhere from 6 months to a year.
Like a year.
Of podcasting. But we had got good response from the 10 episodes that we had did at our previous building. It was good. And he woke up like, yo, I got us a building. We podcasting. Let's go get everything we need. And he kind of came back around with it. And it's the reason why we here. And once we walked in and got the building, we had the building. We already seen the vision. We just needed that place that's home, man. You know what I mean? That's how it's going to be. This is how our homes look. Comfortable, great vibes, only good vibes. You know what I'm saying? I got that on right now. Only good vibe, genuine. And that's just us. Anybody that knows we genuine. We both came from the streets. We both elevated in life. Not even to leave out this guy, man. It's a brother from 20 years ago. You see the part we need help with right there? He there. I ain't even got to ask him twice. And it's vice versa. It's vice versa whenever he need me. You know what I'm saying? And, that's what I really love to do this with. Like, I wish all the guys that I grew up with, where we all done went different ways and everybody is still figuring it out. Even us, we still trying to figure it out. And that's what you see. You see us trying to figure it out. We don't have it all together.
But we getting there.
But we definitely.
We getting there.
We ain't gave up. We still pushing. We done did albums together. We done did music videos together. We done did parties together, party promotion together. We done bought most of the celebrities that have came to the town. In the last, prior years, that was our work. So we still pushing. That's what you see us doing, still grinding, man. This platform is really for people that have stuff going on, coming up here, having a good conversation, being able to teach somebody else something. That's what I hope when somebody watches, that they learn something. Treat us just like any other media outlet. You know what I'm saying? So to have you here today, I feel...
Somebody learned something.
I feel honored, man, because, like, for real, this man been here, and you left footprints all over the town, man. And like I tell you, every time I inquire about something I might want to get into, man, Brooks do that. Like, man, I know him personally. Yeah, I'm calling him right now.
How'd y'all choose Frederick out of everywhere?
Man, I didn't honestly, man. I when I got to Pennsylvania and the Poconos from Houston, I wasn't used to that lifestyle out there, and so I went and looked for a job, and I got a job in Rockville right after I got married, and so I came to Rockville, and it was too expensive. So I went to Gaithersburg. It was too expensive. Went to Germantown. It was too expensive. And the person was like, "Hey, you might want to try Frederick." And I came up to Frederick.
That shit too expensive. You probably in Hancock by now.
Frederick
you probably up by Hancock.
Yeah, he off 270.
God damn.
Nah, but I my first spot was the first spot I rented was right on Phoebus and
South Street.
Yep. Right there. It was
Patrick,
right at the red house with the white fence right on the corner. That was my first spot.
Which one?
Right on the corner.
Right on Phoebus.
Phoebus?
Yeah, right on Phoebus, right in front, right by the apartments.
What,
right
Tish
there.
old house?
Nah, I think that's the Grange.
Next to the way station?
Grange, just on the corner.
Oh, on the Grange,
The
though.
corner one.
Yep, on the corner of the Grange
The one that got the
and
little white fence, you can come in the back door.
Yep.
On South. The house on South, though.
No. It's on right
You can
on
do
Bentz.
what?
It's right on Bentz.
You talking about the bench one?
The bench is right on bench, and the house is right here, and then the white fence is right next to the apartments. Like I used to see fish fries
okay.
right out in front of right by my crib.
Man, that's a beautiful thing, man.
Man, I used to when I first moved, man, we used it because it got a little upstairs on that back part. And me and my wife, when we first moved, we used to sit there and watch the police sit on DeGrange Street, and people would drive up Bench. They'd hit the lights. They'd turn left on South Street and stop. And we would bet like if they were going to jail or not. I'd be sitting there and I'd be like, all right, he doing the whole walk through, and then all of a sudden I see the wobble. I'd be like, got him right there, right there. And next thing you know, they boom, hands behind the back. But there used to be gunshots all from, what was that bar right there? It was
Raw bar.
Nah.
The Raw bar.
Oh, the Raw bar? You down that far?
Yeah, he ain't on the DeGrange side. He on the Bent side.
Yeah, I'm on the Bent side.
I think he would be talking about
Phoebus and Bent.
what's the shit, the Elks.
Nah, I didn't even know the Elks was there when I first moved. It was just the Raw bar was there because people would walk up there from.
You gonna hear that noise if you out there. If you live there in that area after 12 o'clock.
Man, them gunshots be popping, man. People used to be shooting every Saturday, man. Be somebody shooting down that street every night.
Shit was going down at the Raw bar.
It was too much for me. I just sat up on the top and just watched. Like it was that. Because to be honest, when I came to Frederick, man, I was done. Like I still don't go to no bars in Frederick. If I go to somewhere, I'm in Baltimore. I go to DC because I just feel uncomfortable when people trying to buy me drinks and stuff like that. And because it's not that I don't want one, is that that's not how I live. You feel me?
Right.
But if you in my circle, then we gonna go out of town
and we gonna have fun.
And we gonna have fun. But I can't be in the place where I'm at and people be seeing you know what I mean, me hanging out like that. Like it's just that ain't the way I roll. I don't like people in my business. Right. You feel me? I keep my business separate and my lifestyle separate. Because when people know too much about you, they get comfortable. And I don't like people comfortable. Right. Not around me.
When I was speaking to you on the phone before, like just helping you get directions here, you said something kind of threw me off. You said the name Corey Lee.
Yeah.
And that just took me. I was a little. I don't know why I was surprised because you know everybody that would have knew Corey.
Yeah.
Which is 500. Rest in peace, my brother.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, 500.
What was it that? How did that come? That was just that touched me a little bit. Like, okay.
Man, look, man. This morning when I woke up about 6:30, I saw your message, and then I hit your Facebook, and it had the YouTube on it, and I just hit it right underneath your name, and then I'm looking at this video, and I'm seeing people who I done work with for years. You feel me? Like I'm naming names.
The 500 video.
Yeah, yeah. Like I'm sitting there and I'm just sitting there naming names at everybody, and some of them in prison, some of them in jail, some of them doing good. And it's like for me, like I never knew Corey Lee, but it was just the fact that if that many people, I don't see black people coming together in Frederick like that. Like it was good for me to see that everybody coming together on a common cause. You feel me? And whenever I seen that, I was like, whoever Corey Lee was had to be somebody who touched some people's lives.
Right.
You feel me? Because
Great man,
people don't
bro.
come together like that no more.
It's crazy too, right? Because like when I was in prison, I spoke to Corey. That was my last time speaking to him. And, at the time when I spoke to him, this to me how the video played out. So a lot of times, like a lot of people really don't understand what I'm saying in the video. Like I'm talking to him in a way, you know what I'm saying? Because it was kind of like I said. So I would say by like 10 days before he passed away, I spoke to him, and I just happened to call him, check on him. I hadn't spoke to him the entire time. Somebody gave me his number. Maybe one of them gave me his number. And when I called him, he told me, yeah, man, I'm on a run right now, man. I'm like, man, go ahead. But I had understood it. He had just came home and ended up backing into a situation. So I'm like, man, just go ahead and get it over with. And he was like, I am, but I ain't ready yet. And then I'll say like 10, 11 days later, man, my mother, rest in peace to her too, she emailed me and told me to call home. I just lost a friend. And so in that video, it felt like, I wouldn't say I'm the only artist out of the group, but it felt like I had to do it. And I think as soon as we even spoke on like, yo, we shooting the video for 500, because he had been gone by the time I came home. He had been gone 4 or 5 years. That's 5 years after it happened. I just returned. Corey died in 2014. I shot that video in 2020. You know what I'm saying? He had already been gone. So it was just like my first time to celebrate with him. I'm home now. Yep. We doing this for 500. Man, if y'all come, y'all come. If you don't, you don't. And the response to that video, with the amount of people that came out there, we did a fish fry with it. They'll come out, eat everything free. Just come out, support 500, support it. Make sure his mother had all the money off all the dinners that we sold. They made some money. That's for his mother, his daughter. They do whatever they want. Just come out, support it. And that's one of my best videos to this day, man. And that's how that came out for me.
I just tell you, man, I was very impressed. I was impressed with the quality of it. I was impressed with the amount of love that was in the video. Like that's to me that shows on so many levels, like where you were at, and just the people. Like but for me, I from when I see people in that video that I know that are in jail or in prison, I just always just pray for them that they figure it out. You feel me? Like it's some good people, like good people that are caught up in this situation, and it's like you don't even need to. Like you just ain't learned. Like, man, it just leave the legal part.
So another thing, like, I think it's so easy when I see other people come to this town and be able to create a business and be successful in the business. One of the things that run me away from wanting to invest into something that I know could benefit people is what you just said. Like the amount of love you've seen in that video, I feel like it would have to be a cost like it was for people to come together like that. Like, and it's sad. We had, like, some of us ain't seen each other in weeks, months, days in that video, but it took for that to bring people out. So, like, for me, growing up there, being out in the street, because I always tell people, we all got a past. You still responsible for your past. I don't care how much that you change, you're still responsible for your past. And at one point in time, I wasn't so much of a positive person. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to have some people right now that can hear I'm giving out free book bags, free clothes, free money, and they not coming. because of my past, because of who I used to be, and it really pushed me away from like really wanting to do something because I feel defeated already. I don't feel like it could be successful because it's like the people don't want to support positive shit. Now if I pop out and I say, yo, I got pounds of weed, free pounds, free weed, motherfucker might come out. But
that's just like what we was talking about when you first got here. Like, far as getting support for the podcast from people around that we know, people we did stuff for and everything, and it take for us to get a giveaway just for a motherfucker to share one of our posts. Like,
we giving all that stuff away. You had people who couldn't afford it themselves.
Yeah.
Sign up for it to win. We doing a PlayStation 5. For me, in my mind, it's for the less fortunate who I really hope get it. I hope you don't got 2-3 PlayStation 5s in your house and you win it. I can't control it because the way that we doing it is really spin the wheel, randomly pick, you win it. But it was like, oh, I'm going to sign up now. Like, nigga, you supposed to been signed up.
supposed to been following us.
Supposed to been following the pages. Man, get off my phone, man.
Motherfuckers calling talking about, yeah, you know your little nephew need a PS5. Yeah, get him one.
Right, you can really afford it. Like,
Man, look, I was telling him earlier, man, like, and that's for anybody out there, man. If you listen to this, man, you need to subscribe. You need to subscribe. You need to share. You need to
in
like.
the loop.
Like, you need to
LLC on YouTube, y'all.
In the loop. Because my thing is this. I told him, you will never blow up until you get outside of your reach. You feel me? If you think for a second that your homies, your friends, all them people who running your mouth, asking for discount, they are never going to subscribe. They could hit that button right now and go hit the button right now.
And look, the piggyback off what you saying, man. We've been doing music and pushing. I'm not going to say, I got to say this too. Even when we was pushing with music, at one point in time, we did have a lot of people moving around, supporting us and pushing. It kind of faded with time.
Yeah.
I came home. I kind of reached and moved into a whole nother place. And I still was trying to do music here. But it's like what you said. When you leave and you reach a different audience and people see that, that's when people want to be on board with you. It's so fucked up. Like, I don't care what it is. We could make shot glasses. The second little baby post a shot glass, now motherfucker that you knew all your life is calling for a shot glass because little baby said it's a shot glass you might want one. It's so fucked up. It's just a shot glass you could have bought. We only charging $5. Baby like. Little baby, like, man, this is the best shot glass I done had. Like, just the way it feel, the way you can hold it. Now everybody want a shot glass. Like, come on, man.
That's why you gotta push beyond. That's why
you gotta push beyond. I love that.
If you doing good work, people will hear it, and that's why I just tell you guys, and this is just me from the heart. You guys got something good. Don't despise small beginnings, because wherever small beginnings start, there's something great at the end of it. Keep going.
One thing what you hear that we would like you to know is that, if you know anybody that want to do a podcast, everything in here is interchangeable. We have the space, we have the stuff. We will offer for anyone. They could come up here and talk about used cars if that's what they into, making burgers, tacos, whatever it is that they into. The space is available. Small fee. We just want to utilize it the best that we can. They could bring their own props. They could set up stuff. They could bring their own sign. They could put it up. They could come once a week. They could come every day. This is available to anybody that want to do podcasts, whether you want to come up here and brand whatever it is that you got going on, or you want to just come up here and speak on a topic without us involved.
It don't even necessarily got to be a podcast. You need to shoot a commercial for your business. You need to do, you know what I mean, promote something, anything.
You have the space, and all you got to do is come. You know what I mean? Get in contact with us. Man, I know David Brooks now. I'm in the loop.
We in the loop.
We in the loop, man.
I'm in the loop.
We got David Brooks up here. In the loop. He in the loop, and now we in the loop, man.
We all loopy, man.
It's a loopy situation.
Good stuff, though, man. But I enjoy seeing you guys, man, getting to know you guys, and I'm glad Dunn introduced me to this, set this up, because I know this ain't gonna be the last time that I'm here.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, yo, shout out to my oldest boy.
Yeah,
Dunn,
shout out to that's my son, bro. That's my oldest son. Yeah. Yo, shout out to my boy though, because really, like, to see him I gotta share that light on him too, bro, because I really asked him every time, like, bro, you think you come help us? He be like, no question. Why you keep doing that? Like, when? Because I'd be like, I'm so used to like the homies not being available, consistent, or like super supportive, man. And every time, man, like here, like, yo, this ain't win. Come on, I got y'all. We rocking. So,
but it's business. That's what we gotta get out of that mindset of it's about friendship. No, it's business. Like, we are running business.
Definitely.
Right. Everybody gotta play their
part. What
part.
y'all are doing right now is business, and you keep doing that. And people, if y'all go and y'all rent it out, pay the price, whatever it is, because you supporting and you are getting something in return.
Exactly.
Right? Quality.
And just to add to that too, right? I feel like at one point in time, with the amount of influence that we had in the street, we let a lot of people on a negative path. And I swear, man, I opened them doors up again on a positive path, and you don't have them same people walking through it ready to go. And I'm not even saying it, and I never really was big on I'm the leader. We are brothers. We are elbow to elbow. We on the same line. I'm not bigger than nobody. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I think that's what happens too. A lot of pride and stuff get in the way, or people own insecurities hold them back, man. But to see him come up here, bro, and be elbow to elbow with us, man, like, it feel good, man, because
hell yeah,
he one of the ones we led to do wrong, guided to do wrong, influenced to do wrong, begged him to go do wrong. You know what I'm saying? So when we trying to do right, we begging him to come do right, begging him to go this way, he here. Like the try, and we don't got it. I don't got it all figured out. I'm gonna speak for me. I don't have it all figured out, man. I know we push towards a dream every day, and that's what it's about, man. We not outside where we could be at. You know what I'm saying? So
we definitely inside the loop.
we is definitely in the loop, man, and we just trying to, be great, man. And I feel like these new doors, man. I know David Brooks now, man. I'm trying to tell you. All that stuff I've been talking about, man, I would definitely be calling you, man, just trying to get your guidance on how to go about something and go about this, man, because that's what it's about, man. So we really appreciate you taking your time out your day.
Thank you, man.
Thank you for coming.
Coming up here, sitting with us, giving us your wisdoms, letting us know your story. Please continue to help the men out of jails, and give people chances and not judge them from their past, man. I salute you, man. Love you. Thank you a lot for coming.
Thank you, man.
And
I appreciate
you are welcome anytime you go. If you have somebody that you want to help promote or push, please send them this way. You don't even got to ask twice. We'll set it up on any aspect. Anything you want to put out there, promote, that you think that we have a reach, that we able to get it out there to some kind of people. Mental health, we could do. It could be on Narcan. It could be on any of the shit you were talking about. Man, you got a platform right here, man.
Thank
to help
you, man.
in anything that you're doing, anything.
Thank you. And I tell people, go to Cadillac Counselor. Look it up on Google. You'll find everything that I do, what I do, because I do it because I love it. I would do it for free, but I got 4 kids and a wife. I can't. You feel me? So, but for real,
it's not for free.
No, it ain't nothing.
It's affordable,
free.
man.
Yes, yes.
You on Instagram?
I'm on Instagram.
Okay,
Cadillac
we're gonna put his Instagram right here on the page, y'all. It's gonna
Cadillac
be right
Counselor, man.
Thank
Cadillac
you,
Counselor, man. That sound like some old tipping foes. Cadillac door swinging. You know what I'm saying, man? Hey, man. That's In the Loop podcast, man. You're rocking with your boy, and we out. Loopy.